Before we get to ministerial oversight, Advocate Mutau,
Yes.
General, in the section where you're dealing with parliamentary oversight, are you suggesting that there was a failure there? What's the point of this section? Because the conclusion then just tells us that there is this oversight and there are these bodies in place. Would we be sitting here today if they function properly? You can give your opinion. If you don't wish to express one, you can say so.
Commissioner, I believe that the issue that General Mkhwanazi publicly announced on the 6th of July was previously reported during a PCOP meeting in March, if I remembered correctly. So the fact that the Portfolio Committee didn't act on that is, in my mind, a failure of their mandate. Even if I initiated an investigation, called the management of the police to come and explain, that would already have been an exercise of oversight on their part to ensure that the matter received attention.
Hello everybody, welcome back to this channel. Hope you're doing good. Today was day 6 of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, and let's summarize Major General Petronella van Rooyen's testimony, including arguments, legal basis, and implications. We know that before her testimony, 2 major figures testified. Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, who accused Police Minister Senzo Mchunu of interfering in police investigations in KZN, and General Fannie Masemola, who also opposed the minister's instructions as encroaching on operational authority. Van Rooyen is the 3rd witness, and her role is to explain the legal and constitutional framework governing the separation of powers between the police minister, who is Senzo Mchunu, and the police services. Thus, Van Rooyen's testimony is pivotal. She's not representing operational or factual allegations of misconduct, but rather interpreting how the law constrains and delineates of authority of the police minister versus the commissioner and SAPS more broadly. Major General Petronella van Rooyen is the head of governance, legislation, and policy in the SAPS Legal Services Division. She reports to the Divisional Commissioner of Legal Services, who in return reports to the Deputy National Commissioner and ultimately to the National Commissioner, who is Fannie Masemola. Her portfolio includes reviewing legislation, ensuring compliance, vetting policies, and advising on legal risks across the SAPS. So, given her position, she's seen as a credible expert on how the law should operate within the SAPS rather than a partisan witness. And the key points of her testimony focused on 3 main issues: the minister's authority versus operational matters, legality of the minister's instruction to disband the KZN Political Killings Task Team, and the limits on subordinate compliance with possibly unlawful directives. She emphasized that under the Constitution and relevant statutes, the Minister of Police is responsible for policy and oversight, not day-to-day operational decisions. She cited Section 206 of the Constitution, which states that national policing policy is determined by the minister in consultation with provinces, but the National Commissioner controls and manages the police services in line with that policy. Van Rooyen argued that an instruction to disband a criminal investigation team is squarely an operational decision falling under the National Commissioner's purview, not the minister's. If the minister could unilaterally disband investigative units, it could undermine separation of powers, due process, prosecutorial integrity, and public confidence in justice. She gave an illustrative scenario. What if a prosecutor appears in court but no investigator is authorized because a task team was dissolved? Van Rooyen declared that Minister Senzo Mchunu did not have the legal authority to order the disbandment of the KZN PKTT. She termed the instruction as encroaching on an operational mandate. She also referenced that the PKTT was investigating politically motivated killings, a serious crime, and thus disbanding it constitutes a major operational decision. She aligned with Masemola's stance that Senzo Mchunu's letter was clearly operational in nature and therefore beyond his competence, and also warned of consequences. If the minister could issue such an order, the justice chain could be undermined, investigations halted, and the system hostage to political direction. Another issue Van Rooyen addressed was what should deputy national commissioners or others do if given a directive by the minister that conflicts with the national commissioner's lawful authority. She asserted that the deputy national commissioners cannot legally act on a ministerial order that is inconsistent with or overrides the national commissioner's decision. She emphasized if a directive is unlawful, subordinates have a duty not to comply. She called the minister's instructions illegal insofar as it attempted to override operational authority and specifically commented on Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, saying that he had no authority to act on the minister's instruction in contradiction with the National Commissioner's chain. In a nutshell, Major General Van Rooyen's testimony is a legal backbone for the argument that former Police Minister Senzo Mchunu overstepped his constitutional powers when ordering the disbandment of the KZN Political Killings Task Team. A testimony bolsters the position of Masemola and Mkhwanazi and provides the legal scaffolding for the Commission to assert whether ministerial interference has eroded the independence and integrity of the SAPS. Major General Petronella van Rooyen's testimony cuts to the heart of the Madlanga Commission. She reminded us that the Constitution draws a clear line. Ministers set policy, but the police must remain operationally independent. If that line is blurred, political interests can dismantle justice at will. Her words are a warning. When the rule of law bends to political pressure, the very foundation of accountability is at risk. Now the question is, will the Commission reinforce that boundary, or will South Africa's policing remain vulnerable to interference? Now please tell us your thoughts down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel. Please also share with us who do you want to see at the Madlanga Commission.